Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at Legacy United G1 Universe QUAKE. Starting off this review, we are going to take a look at the box very spec, with the Transformers logo on the side, with the Transformers Generation insignia thing, Legacy United, and then you've got the name of this technically 3-pack. QUAKE Heater Tip Top. On the side is just the 40th anniversary logo with a lot of characters. On the back you can see 24 steps and some promo pictures and things that this figure can actually do. And on the other side, again, it's promo pictures. So, on the top, just got Legacy United, on the bottom, legal information. So, quite a nice box. But now onto the actual figure. Getting QUAKE out into the light box, I really like how this figure looks. It's just the colours, they're just about vibrant enough to make this look surprisingly premium, even though this is not an expensive figure. It pops in almost any display. Got the Decepticon insignia. Love, but the one thing that I especially love, the head. The bee red eyes, love how they're painted. You've got the gold face. Anyway, let's take a closer look at the details all round. We're already taking a look at the head, so on the shoulders, very basic. This is obviously going to be basic, it's a G1 design. That's my cat. Wait, sorry, my cat wants to get in here. Yeah, this is my cat. Good boy. Anyway, yeah, back to actually filming the video. Sorry for the interruption. A bit random. But yeah, so, on the chest, it's a very nice blue color. The, Decepticon insignia isn't super clear, but it's clear enough that it does look nice. There's some sculpted in grates. For the rest of the arms, fairly decently sculpted. This isn't the best, but you know, it looks good from the front. The hips look very G1. Don't know how to describe that, but yeah. Then legs. I love the leg design. This is just got the tracks of the tank. Bring to the back. This is a bit messy for the legs. And again, you've got the hollow backs. But I do like this. This is just such a nice design element. Overall, it's such a nice looking figure. I just love looking at this. So any pose that you put this in just looks very, very nice. QUAKE has some of the nicest accessories I think I've ever seen. So technically, I don't know if these count as accessories because, you know, on the box they're actually labeled as their individual characters. For the life of me, cannot remember what their individual names are. I mean, one of them's Heater, one of them's Tip Top, but I don't remember what they are. Anyway, so these are just very basic mini-cons. They're nicely painted and sculpted. There we go. I probably prefer this one slightly, but I think they're both look good. Anyway, to convert them into the gun mode, you just take the arrow and flip it out. There you go. And there you've got the guns. Having QUAKE holding the mini-con guns, this really does look nice. There's one very cool thing that these do. If you take one of them and have one of them in the hand, you can combine the two. It's a bit tricky, but you can indeed combine them and they've got a mega gun. I don't know who's going to use this. I personally won't. I've had this figure for a while. I don't think I've ever properly used this once in a pose. But if you like the design, go for it. one of the main things that helps me judge if I personally like a figure or not is the hand feel. So, is the plastic on this any good? So with Quake, it's relatively nice. It doesn't feel like the highest quality, but I'm okay with that. But so it doesn't feel amazing, but it also doesn't feel like it's gonna just break or crumble. It's maybe a bit on the lighter side, but like most deluxes aren't. But the joints overall very nice and smooth. So, I mean, some of them might be a bit loose, but going over the shake test, mainly just like going in and out, but overall Quake feels quite nice. Now for his mini-cons. They are made of almost exactly the same plastic as the main figure. Again, well, none of the paint feels like it's gonna chip, but these honestly maybe feel a tiny bit more solid because they're only 2 parts. But overall, I think that these feel surprisingly nice for just an accessory. Going over Quake's articulation. You have a ball joint at the head, which can tilt side to side, look up and a bit down, and swivel. Note, when I first got this figure out of the box, this ball joint was permanently stuck looking down. I would move it and it would just spring back. I fixed that now. If that happens on your figure, just keep moving the ball joint. It didn't really feel like it was going to break, but that's just a reminder. You technically got a tiny bit of backwards butterfly motion for transformation. You've got rotation at the arms move out, bicep rotation, and an over 90 degrees elbow bend. No wrist rotation, but the wrists do pop off occasionally. Anyway, yeah, the wrists can hinge down for transformation. You have a 360 waist swivel. I'm just gonna warn you, this does like to unpeg. The pegs aren't very secure, so when you're holding the figure, if you're holding it like this and you put a bit of pressure on this, it will just do that. Not a big problem if you know about it, but again, it's a review. I need to point everything out. Hips move forwards, that far, backwards, that far, out, that far, thigh rotation, over 90 degrees of knee bend, your feet kind of wiggle forwards and backwards a bit, and you have a very nice ankle pivot. Overall, I think the articulation could probably be improved slightly, but it is nice. On to transforming the figure. I've transformed this figure quite a lot, but this is what the instructions look like. Very basic Hasbro instructions. They work well enough. Anyway, you're going to start off with the wrists. You just flip them in and hope that they don't pop off. And you can open this panel and that. Flip that. I actually don't remember if you're meant to do this. I think you are. You swivel the head. And this all closes in. This and shift it up. It does click into place. These butterflies, you're going to move in and have everything peg into place like so. And there's also pegs here. Hard to show on camera, but they're there. Now, what are we going to do next? Now we're going to do the legs, yes. You bend the knees and open this up. Then you just kind of shift it. This part's always tricky. There you go. You can pull this out, then shift that, put this up, and hook this over. There you go. Got a tank tread. I love the leg transformation. It's genuinely amazing. Anyway, do the exact same on the other side. Now that you have both of the legs fully transformed, you're going to clip them together. You're going to use this hinge joint. A bit difficult to see, but it's there. You're going to hinge it just like that. Combine that with the leg movement, and you can just fold it in half. Now, there is a couple pegs here. There's these pegs and these pegs. And yeah, all you're going to want to do is just peg everything together. Nice and snug. And there you go. Tank mode. And you may notice these slots. And they are for plugging in the minicons. They don't fit that well. Yeah, they're not amazing, but I think that they get the job done if this is a look that you like. Come on. Okay, just edit to where I've done it. There we go. That's the technically full armors mode, but I'm going to take these off so we can just review tank mode. What can I say? The tank mode looks and feels nice. Of that robot that was maybe a bit flimsy because of just a couple, maybe seemingly excessive moving parts, is now compacted into one very nice tank mode. It does not roll though. Hasbro, please make your figures roll. Like, if you look here, there's just no wheels. Maybe there was originally intended to be wheels, but they had to do a budget cut because of the minicons. I don't know. But it does look nice, and I guess if you have a smooth surface, you can do that. But that's not rolling. Anyway, the top can swivel, and the barrel can also move up and down. And the barrel is blast effect compatible. Should have also said that the minicons are blast effect compatible if you happen to have them. Yeah, I think this looks and feels just all round amazing. Maybe the looks aren't amazing, but the feel of this, it feels like a brick. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over the details. Why is my cat meowing again? Yeah, I don't know if the microphone that I'm using will actually blur out or like noise dampen my cat, but I can hear him. So yeah. Wrapping up on my review of the Legacy United G1 Universe QUAKE. I personally think that this is a must-have figure. It's very solid, it poses very nicely, transforms nicely, the colors are amazing, and if you like G1 designs like me, then you'll just like how this looks. The minicons, which are the accessories, are also quite nice. These are some of the first minicons I've ever had. I think I have one other, but these don't disappoint. These do exactly what I'd expect them to do. They work very well with guns. They just do a lot of very nice things. Anyway, I'm going to put a link to this figure down in the description. While you're down there, why not hit the subscribe button? It would definitely help me. So, yeah. Hopefully I see you in the next one.